Hello, everybody. I'm so glad you are all here. Let me push the button. As you know, I forget to press buttons for Instagram, and let's rock and roll for TikTok. So, it is a Cancer new moon. How are you all doing? Let me know in the chat where you are tuning in from. What is your vibe today? How is life? What's going on? I hope you brought thank you, Victoria. I keep seeing your comments everywhere on YouTube, and I think I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's the same Victoria who just said how beautiful I was in another comment, and I was like, this is making my day. Thank you. I hope you brought your journals because I'm going to also be sharing some prompts that are going to be helpful for you for today and the next couple of days that are really going to help you tap into this energy. Thank you. Hello, Indigo Blue from Perth, Western Australia. Victoria, where are you located? It's Danielle, right? Oh, thanks, Danielle. Danielle said I look so pretty. Hello to Senseva. I think that's how you say it. Hi. It's so great to see you all. Houston, Texas. Right. Okay. We were just talking about this. Did you go to that store? I know it was recent, so just wondering. But let me know how you all are doing today for this Cancer new moon. I'm just going to jump right into it because I don't have a ton of time. So I want to make sure that I'm able to give you all the knowledge that I have for Cancer new moons, how to handle this energy, how to be within the frequency of love. So Cancer new moon, which the funniest part was all day today, I also kept hearing, what's his name? The crab singer from The Little Mermaid. So I thought that was funny. But this new moon is really about tapping into your intuition for the entire collective, meaning tapping into your deep emotions, tapping into your third eye, tapping into your divine feminine, really being in that soft energy, not pushing too hard, right? Because Cancer is water energy. And you really want to pay attention today in the next couple of days when you start to feel, as I like to say, you like to feel crappy, right? Anything that's making your energy off, meaning people, places, work things that you are doing, make sure you remove them from your life. I mentioned in the last couple of lives that today, the 25th, is a big portal day for cutting away energy that no longer serves you, like cut them out today. So if you're meeting anybody or getting text message from folks or you're at work and it feels like things are being revealed to you about people's personalities, or you're around folks that might be more temperamental and you're realizing that maybe that's not the person that you want to have in your life, today is the day where you create that boundary, even energetically. Like if you're getting a lot of signs from an ex or someone you used to know and you don't want that connection anymore, you don't want that energy to keep coming back because it can get stuck in your body, right? In your aura, in your manifestations, and like keep them from coming to fruition. If that is happening, make sure you do your cord cutting, make sure you do your candle working. And just to note, for folks who bought candle workings and scheduled them for today, I'm going to start your candle working today because it is a new moon. And then from that day, as it says, 24 to 48 hours, you will get your mini like tarot reading that is very specific to you, the recording, and you'll also get advice that I'll send in your email. So you will get that after that. I just wanted to share that just to let everybody know that, again, if you did book a candle working for today, I'm going to do it today because it is the new moon. it's just very synchronistic, where some days, I will do it the next day. But this is it's a really important portal. And so if you were called to do your cord cutting and things like that, it's very important. Hi, Ashe. No, it's been raining. I have to manifest the resources. Yeah. Well, then perfect, right? If it's raining and you're at home, then that's amazing. That means you're supposed to be resting. And how fitting, right? Because we're in Cancer energy. Hi, TikTok. We're in Cancer energy, which is water, which is rest. So how fitting that you are being cleansed with water during this time. I felt really called to wear this amazing new dress that Spirit helped me find with the ancestors. Hello, hello. It's so great to see you. I'm so glad you're here. For anybody just joining, I do want to make sure you have something to write with, like we do in Z School for the Gifted. I'm going to be going over some journaling prompts and talk to you about why it's important. Again, today is a big cutting day. It's 3 a.m. in South Africa. My sleep schedule is so up. Whoa! I appreciate you coming. That is so amazing. I'm glad that you're showing up for yourself. And I'm feeling hurt, and otherwise I'm optimistic and feeling okay despite everything. So I hope I can stay strong. You can definitely stay strong. I'm putting that energy out there. Also, the other thing I want to say is, if you are feeling like your emotions are a little up and down right now, make sure you create as much time as you can to feel those emotions, to express those emotions, whether it's journaling, listening to that playlist, right? Letting it all come out of your body in whatever way it needs to. Many of you are psychics and mediums, spiritual healers, and things like that. So you're going to be hypersensitive to this energy anytime there's a portal. And June has been bananas with 15 portals. So make sure that you are showing yourself extra love today. I woke up like super exhausted, but yesterday was fast energy day, and today is like a really slow rest energy day. I don't know if anybody else had the same experience. Feel free to let me know, but I had like 9 meetings yesterday and was heavily in my masculine energy and was like, no, pulled the blanket over my head and was like, and got up slow. Hi, TikTok. Thanks for the likes. Let me know if this is resonating. Feel free to let me know where you're tuning in from. Happy Cancer new moon. And if you are on TikTok, you're also welcome to join us over on not Facebook, on YouTube. If you want to see folks' comments and things like that, you're welcome to join as well. I've been guided to rest, so I've been napping throughout the last 2 days. Yeah. A lot of people have been guided to rest. Hi, Whitney. Hello, Instagram. It's so great to see you. Whitney, I'm just going to pretend like you are Instagram. Hey, hope all is well with you. Sending love. I'll just say hello. I'm watching Ironheart. Love you. Oh, have so much fun. I hope you're enjoying your new moon. You're in Texas. Is everybody in Texas? There's been a lot of Texas energy lately. While I was on a hike in, I think it was called like Cave Valley or something like that, I met a bunch of people who are also from Texas talk to me about ballet. So I thought it was really funny. And like Victoria's talking about Texas. Is everybody from Texas? Where in Texas are you from? Houston? Dallas? Where are you from? Tell me. I love all the blue hearts. Whitney, yay, you're on YouTube. Yay, you switched. I'm feeling very, very emotional. Yeah. Are you creating space for it to like flow? I feel like you're resting, but are you like doing the healing work, Which I'm here to give you the question. So I want to know from all of you in the chat, did you bring your journals and are you ready to get journaling? Because I want to walk you through some amazing questions to help you heal through this energy. It's like a mini Z School for the Gifted. And on Thursday, we're going to be clearing out the rest of this energy from Cancer full moon, doing some really powerful breath work to open up our solar plexus. It's a Himalayan practice that my teacher taught me, so I'm going to be sharing it with the community as well. And then we're going to do a fun exercise and create sigils. So I'm going to teach you how to create a sigil so that you can use it in your practices for the next couple of months. Michigan, fun. Dude, I've been so aggressive. Okay, that's like actually a good word for it because I don't really see aggressive as like, you know, like negative energy or anything like that. It's just like that energy that's there. It's like aggressively tired or aggressively funny or aggressively bananas. um, if you ever do anything in Texas, you have support. Oh, that's so sweet. I actually really want to go back to Houston and do an event there. I want to go to all the places that I was traveling because I was scoping it out. Because I used to travel around and do spiritual events and pop-ups and stuff like that. And I was looking into it. So I will definitely start seriously looking into it. I do have a list of spiritual things, or maybe we can just do like, oh, thanks for the fun constellation, I've never seen that before. Maybe we can do like a fun healing retreat or something, or like a 2-day workshop on Phelan. I think it would be really cool. Oh, you're so sweet. I love all of you too, and I love Houston. I have so much fun in Houston. Had FOMO. Whitney, you bring so much light to my life. I have my journal and I'm ready. Yes, I cried today. Yes, I have my journal. Perfect. Thank you. You have your journal. You have your journal and your dinner present. I love that. Hello, Goddess Sassy. Hello. I just got back from Mount Shasta. So integrating has been a little rough though. Yeah, Mount Shasta has powerful energy. So it'll zap you off into the universe. And then whatever happens next, you can get ready for it. Next time you're there, let me know. I have a bunch of friends there and some folks who like do teas, and there's always events there. So if you ever go back, let me know. So I'm going to start with question number 1, and I'm going to drop it in the chat as well. That's not copy. I'm going to drop it in the chat, and I'm also going to say it for everybody. So the question is, the first one, what parts of me have been pushing away the softness, yearning to come out? And I love this question, besides the fact that I made them. I love this question because, again, the Cancer moon, thanks for all the likes, you're so sweet. The Cancer moon is really about tapping into your emotions, right? And sometimes when we are in the hustle of day-to-day life, of healing, of ascending, taking care of our family, it's really easy to forget about what we are actually feeling. And for those of you who are extremely spiritual and connected to your ancestors, not only are you going to be feeling the energy of yourself, you're actually going to be feeling it from your ancestors. You know what? This is a smarter idea. Hold up. I'm going to drop it in as a banner. How about that? Look at that. Nailed it. Think on your toes. So I dropped it in as a banner, so you should be able to see it on the screen. What parts of me have been pushing away the softness, yearning to come out? Someone said, I drove by Mount Shasta last week on the way from Lake Tahoe to Crater Lake. I love Lake Tahoe. I love all lakes. I love mountains. I love outside. It's such a beautiful place. It is a beautiful place. Part of my activation a couple years ago was being in Mount Shasta. I had actually planned a huge like retreat, but then the person I was doing it with, like, it just wasn't aligning. And so I canceled the entire thing, but I had this entire beautiful house on the water and it was so much fun. I was like, I'm just going to go and then tell my friend. My friend and I just spent the 4 or 5 days just in the forest. I finally did my ancestor altar. Are we answering these questions now? It's up to you. You can watch the recording, but I just wanted to share them in case folks did want to answer them now. You can jot down some ideas. You're welcome to ask questions in the chat if you want to. So completely up to you, whatever your energy is. If you don't want to, if you just want to tune in and listen and be in the energy of community, feel free to do that as well. But again, this question is here to support you, to open up to that energy, especially if you feel like you've been a little shut down recently, or maybe you are in the energy of avoiding your emotions. Like maybe it's a little bit more difficult for you to tap in. Maybe you have a busy life. Maybe you don't feel safe talking about your emotions, or or you're around family members who don't hold space for you very well, or you're learning to hold space for your emotions. This is a great question for that. Yes. Oh my God. It was amazing. We saw so many ships. I love that. Was on a retreat, but being guided to go back on my own. I love that. I'm so happy you went. Oh, I'm so happy for you. I remember when you first joined Z School for the Gifted and you were talking so much about travel. So let's go to the next question. I'm gonna post it. Sun. There we go. So what did I learn about being vulnerable growing up? All of you know that I love to do inner child work. Let me make sure I didn't miss any comments. No, I didn't. Hi, everyone on TikTok. Feel free to join on YouTube if you want to see the live questions. I haven't found out how to connect them to TikTok, so I'm really sorry. What did I learn about being vulnerable growing up? This is a great question for you to reflect on how you were actually received or what you witnessed when you were younger. Inner child work is my specialty. We are a direct reflection of how we were raised, of the people around us, and now as adults, we must all hold ourselves accountable for the life that we are leading today. And so it's always best if you are on your healing journey, which everybody should be, everybody is, yes, that you think about what you saw as a young child and even as an adult, and going into your teenage years and things like that. But starting when you were younger, did your parents talk about their emotions, or parent or community member? Were you in foster care, right? Like, were you safe in foster care? Did you always have to feel like you were protecting yourself? Because that tends to happen as well when you're in transitional homes, or even with family members who were not safe to be around. So being vulnerable is almost impossible when you become an adult. So these are things to think about, and then it'll happen. Hi, my YouTube channel is the Fairy Medicine Woman. If you go on my profile on TikTok and then you click the link tree, there's going to be a YouTube button at the top. You can click that and head straight over. I forgot what I was saying, but if you were not able to, which most people are not able to reflect on their healing unless they're consistently in therapy. But even then, indigenous practices, generational healing is very different than traditional therapy, unless you went to someone who is well-versed in both. That feeling of not being safe, along with being intersectional, person of color, femme, whatever it may be, disabled, or part of the disability community, all of that is going to play into how vulnerable and how safe you're going to feel as you navigate through life. And even if you had money, were you constantly feeling like you had to prove yourself to your family in order to maintain family money? Do you actually feel vulnerable to talk about your emotions, or were they just driving you for success, and that's the only thing that you understand? I was in foster care. I wasn't safe at home or foster care. Foster care was even worse. Yeah. See, I'm glad that we are talking about this, because it's so important that we get together as a community and understand that this is a collective healing journey, and these things are important. And we can really utilize the energy of the moon and nature to assist us in our healing, so we can release and let go and return back to our happiness. And so I'm so glad that all of you are here. My inner child heart broke from that question. Oh no, Whitney. Cry it out. Cry it out. My little Scorpio. My little Scorpio. Being vulnerable, I was always told that I was too sensitive. I would hold things in a lot. Yeah, that's really, really common. Unfortunately, especially for young children and with parents who are constantly like, I need to toughen you up. There's certain things where you do want to teach them how to regulate, but you have to understand that they're also children. So they need to experience emotions as well, because you are not good at regulating doesn't mean that you should pass that on to your children, because then they're just going to take on your own trauma. They need to learn how to express themselves, and children especially, like it has to go somewhere. They are not an adult. That's why they are like going around screaming, doing these things, or if they're like quiet all the time, like that is something that you need to pay attention to, and making sure that they feel safe expressing themselves, because sometimes a quiet child doesn't mean that they're regulated. It could mean that they don't know how to articulate their emotions. They don't have the vocabulary. So think about these things as you were growing up. Like, what did you experience? Be right back. Cradling little Whitney. Oh, as a child, I was told I was too sensitive. Yeah, same thing for me. Same thing, always. But I will say one of my parents was really awful at holding my emotions, and still is. The other one was better when I was younger, a little different now, but it goes back and forth. But one of them did always tell me when I was younger, like, cry it out, like just keep crying. And so I remember that now. And as an adult, it's a little different. Um, I was in foster care, however, I always felt safe. A part of me knew that this planet was not home. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Everyone, please like the video to help the algorithm push the video to those. Thanks. You're so sweet for always doing the promotion. Yeah, I'm so glad we are finding a community of folks who are coming from different walks of life. Like, I knew this was going to be important for everyone to talk about this. So I'm going to copy and paste the next question into the banner. So let me add this one in. It's a little bit longer, but these are just for you, obviously, to reflect on. How have I, this is multiple questions in one. How have I allowed myself to be negatively swayed by ego when it comes to love, joy, and happiness? Do I blame others / circumstances instead of turning inwards? So I put this together because healing the ego is really important when it comes to generational healing, when it comes to manifesting, when it comes to all of us collectively working together to not be judgmental of each other, right? So the ego is something that you have to learn to observe and not attach to. So how often would you say, and you're welcome to write it in the chat, like how often do you say, or would you say that you sometimes listen too much to that ego? Or is it more so when the energy is really heightened? Do you find it harder to tune out your ego when you are tired, right? Like, these are things that you need to understand. My ego shows up most when, right? Like, I know for myself, if I do not wake up really slow, if I don't jump into the river, if I don't like organize and clean my space, my ego goes like a monster, and I like my energy goes and I start like fracturing all over, and then by the end of the night I'm like, oh, what happened? So pay attention to how often your ego likes to sneak up on you. Because also, if you're manifesting this new life for yourself, the love, joy, and happiness that you are calling into your life, your ego is going to try and push it away because it's going to be new to you, especially now that you are on a new journey of love and of self-reflection, of self-awareness. So you need to pay attention, right? And I'm feeling also like, folks always have a difficult time when it comes to surrendering to the universe and accepting this new life because their brain can't fathom what's going on. They tend to judge everything around them, right? Point the finger. I want this. I don't want that. I don't, blah, 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 blah. But the universe and your ancestors are always going to know what is going to hold you the most. And so how can you lean more into your spirituality, not from the sense of becoming helpless, right? We don't want you to become helpless, but you do need to understand when you're operating from your ego and when you are actually operating from love, from collective oneness, from your spirituality, right? Yes, we are healing now. I love that. Let me know in the chat if this is resonating with you, if this is making sense. And also, again, just highlighting, paying attention to when you might blame others. This I see is super common in Z School for the Gifted. Every once in a while, like I get a group of folks, depending on the cycle of the moon, who come in and just start rattling off, these people did this to me, this person did this to me, blah 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 blah, like yeah, right? And so at some point you have to look at your behavior and ask yourself, how I allowed that to happen. How did I allow that to happen? While yes, there are things that will be done to us, how are you taking accountability for how you got there, how you interacted with them, and why are you still focusing on that? There has to be progression, right? So always best, if you are not able to see those things, I always recommend seeing someone like me who is a healer, who's a coach, being a part of Z School for the Gifted, which is every Thursday. Come join. We have a class this Thursday so that you can begin to learn about those quote unquote spots that you can't see. I don't like saying blind spots, but the spots that you can't really see, because coaches and healers are amazing at that. We give you different perspective on life, and to help you see your situation from an unbiased view, because we're not in your situation. We've likely been in it before in our own version, have gone through it, and it's also why we can help you. So oof, yes, how did I allow that to happen? My ego pops up to tell me everything has to be perfect or I'll fail and nothing I want will manifest. Yeah, that's a tough one. That one is a tough one, and that's been coming up a lot for the collective, but it's also because manifestations are getting really close. And you're like consciously and intentionally working to heal it and remove it from your life. And as I mentioned in other lives, there's that extinction burst of it's going to keep fighting tooth and nail because it knows that it's about to leave, and you're shifting into a different energy. So during those times, like I always recommend listening to subliminals, again, being in a community, because when you are around people who are doing the same work that you do, and you can hear them talk about how great their lives are going, or you can hear them talk about how their ego is coming up, it normalizes your own journey and makes it easier for you to know that life gets better after this. This is just temporary. My ego is cracking off right now, right? And so you have to surround yourself with a healthy environment to make it to make the transition easier for you. I've been working on the ego. Challenges have to occur for me to introspect. Yeah, sometimes that totally happens. Pray your hands. I love it. Yeah. So I have another question for you all. And let me know too if this is helpful or if I'm going too fast. Again, you can always go back and watch the recording. But I do want to make sure that you have these questions to reference. And I will add them to the description so that you have them as well afterwards. Nope, that's not the right one. That's the same one. Let me fix it. Let me fix that, everybody. Oh, it didn't even. There we go. I did paste it, just didn't update. Okay, what am I willing to let go of to surrender to the flow of the universe? That's what I'm supposed to say, and already calm waters within me. Just ignore my grammar. Okay. What I am saying here is, how can I fully let go, right? It's in addition to the last question. How can I fully let go and trust that everything is going to work out for me, and realize that I already hold calm waters within my own body? Right? That's what Cancer energy is. Everybody has the elements inside of them. Everybody has the ability to feel peace. Everybody has the ability to create prosperity of hope and love and joy, and manifest the life that they're desiring. And it's just a matter of remembering that all the time and tapping into it consistently, and then letting it go to allow the universe to transform your life, right? And sometimes that can be a little bit challenging for the ego, because the ego wants everything on timelines and all these things, but the beauty is in the journey. So how can you No, what am I willing to let go of, right? So is it a practice that you do every day? Do you have people in your life that it's time to let go of? I was just talking to a friend today. Uh wildly psychic, as you all know. I had kind of warned them about someone, and I was like, no, like, no, like, stay away from that. And what I thought would happen ended up happening, not with this person, but with the other person who I said stay away from. And I was, encouraging them, like, today's the day you need to let them go, not tomorrow, not any other days, right? It's the perfect energy for that. The universe, your ancestors are already welcoming you into that space. So are you going to actually accept it, or are you going to hold on, right? And there was this conversation around, like, well, like, they didn't want to be rude and all these things, but at the end of the day, you have to remember that your happiness is also important. And when you're dealing with people who are gaslighting you, who are not loving to you, who are quite selfish of your time and energy, why are you still creating space for them in your life and being so nice, right? So nice to keep your boundaries down and subject yourself to so much trauma, right? Because that's what's going on. It's not actually helpful for anybody for you to stay in that situation, because then you also are telling that person that it's okay for them to act that way because you keep putting up with the behavior. So if everybody keeps doing that, we normalize shitty behavior, right? To put it not so soft. So when you also let go of these people, because you're allowed to do that, you are allowed to do that. You don't have to give an explanation either. You are allowed to ask for things that you need. It helps everybody, not just you. It helps the other person. It helps the community, right? Like, somebody has to take action. So what are you letting go of? You're welcome to write it in the chat as well. Oh, ego comes up when fear creeps in and wants to control everything. Damn, upside down. Yeah, it totally does. It's like, oh, I'll be at the command center. That's what I think it sounds like. Halfway my voice. Ah, don't you dare try and reload. My mother was in foster care, and she took a lot of her pain out on me and my sister when we were growing up with some shadow work. It took us a few years for us to get through it. We are a lot better now. I'm glad you're better. It's great to see you as well. I forgot to say that. Glad you're here. Yeah. I'm glad that you, like, took the initiative to do the healing work. And again, like, another good example of how we are all reflections of our environment and our circumstances. And so props to you and your sister for realizing that, your worth is not dependent on how they see you. And you did the healing for yourself. I heard today, create as a child, edit as a scientist. I love that. And it hit me hard. I think I may have always been trying to create from the science perfectionist position. Yeah, it's a balance. It's a complete balance. I love that. As also someone who does inner child work and a scientist, I do condone. I was actually just thinking about how I missed my Star Lab sweater. I don't have it anymore. See, so what exactly was the question? It was on the screen. Did you miss it? I know this is delayed, so let me know. I'm letting go of performative behaviors. I love that. Do not perform. I love that. Be yourself. Letting go of relationships that no longer align with me. Facts. That's a huge one. Whitney, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Well, you're welcome to go back and rewatch the anybody else in the chat? Someone saying that the question didn't make sense. So is anybody else having an issue with that question? I will drop the questions in the description. You're welcome to answer whatever you want. If it doesn't make sense, just skip it. Made sense to me. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Let me fix this. Okay. What? Hold on. Save. There we go. Show. Let me go back to comments. Benita! Hi! You like my hair today? Isn't it great? I'm wearing a very Marilyn Monroe-esque dress. It's so cute. It's so cute. Yeah, the grammar. I mean, who cares? Come on, people. We can handle this. If you don't like the question, we move on. That's what we do. That's what we do in life. Yesterday's live with Cassie helped me so much. I had my first comedy special. Yay! Yay! My throat was so tight leading up to it. Vocal warming via lip trills. I love that. Unlocked my throat chakra. Yay! Oh my gosh, I have to tell Cassie. For anybody who missed it, you're welcome to watch the live from yesterday. It was with my good friend Cassandra Claude, who is a Grammy member and a very well-known vocal coach and vocalist who has amazing advice. They also wrote a book. They were on the same reality TV show as I was, and they focus on like artistic freedom. And so they were giving a lot of advice about how to liberate your throat chakra and things like that, and continue to move forward and really make it as a vocal artist. So if anybody missed that, go watch it. They are amazing. And they just have life advice. That is awesome. It's under the playlist that says ZTV. But yeah. Benita, you're so sweet. Thanks. Great dress. And the whole package is so sexy and elegant. Oh, thank you so much. I literally put on my dress today and got ready because I was so tired from yesterday. And sometimes I just have those days where I just get ready and go outside and I'm like, universe, show me where to go. And so I just went outside being amazing, eating food, following my intuition, meeting new people. Got like a mocha, ate some fries. I walked around eating fries in my favorite neighborhood as it was like the wind was blowing. It was great. I really had such a ball while I was also running errands and doing stuff like that, but I took some time. Okay, so here's the next one. And again, folks, if grammar is an issue for you, like this is not the space, because I know that all of you can handle looking at a question and figuring it out. And if you can't, then just go to the next one. Like we're gonna heal the helplessness and we're gonna implement empowerment. Okay, this is what we're doing. If we are focusing on the nitty gritty of how a question is, the minute things like that, also tells me a lot about other things, right? So here's another question. What am I willing to let go of? Nope. Why does it keep doing this? It literally is there. I'm going to just click it again. Now it'll show up. There we go. See? I don't know what it is. What new story do I now accept for myself about love, tenderness, and self-expression? So feel free to reflect on this question. I'm going to leave it up on the screen, or you can just mentally make a note about it. You can respond in the comments as well. So now that you are aware of how ego might navigate your life, what are you going to do now to create a new story about showing up in the frequency of love and tenderness and self-expression? Like I love that Ashe was talking about how they did a show, they liberated their voice, right? That is a huge sign of self-expression. They got the confidence. I'm sure you're welcome to share what your new story was, but it feels and sounds like your new story is like, I can do this regardless of how I feel. I am worthy of being seen, right? What is your new story? Write it in the chat. Whitney, yes, English is hard. English language makes no sense. Let's be real. I surrender everything to be in flow with the universe. I love it. Goddess Saucy, can you be more specific about everything? What? Because be careful. The universe might be like, cool, I'm going to take your underwear too. Right? So I know I'm being funny, but like, you never know weird stuff, weirder things have happened. Benita, I love the assertiveness, very important. Thanks. Yes. You know me. I mean, we've been working together for almost 6 months now, which I'm excited about. We have to be assertive. There is a sense of love and compassion, but I'm also a business person, and I am also a coach, and I'm gonna tell you something. My story is I am to be heard, seen, and known. Ooh, I love that. You're doing amazing on social media, by the way. I keep seeing your posts pop up, and I was going to tell you one of them in particular. You had this wild Lakshmi energy, and it was just oozing out of you. I loved it. It was great. I'll have to think about this one. Yeah, spend some time reflecting. That's what these questions are for. There's no rush. Let your energy be within them, wiggle in them, see how it goes. New story is I am deserving of love, tenderness, and self-expression. Yes, receive it. It's yours. Spirit and your ancestors do not want you to live a life without love and tenderness and self-expression. And that should be reflected back in your community as well. So everybody remember that, right? Like, even though these are things that you want to manifest for yourself and be in the frequency of, your community, if that's what you want in life, will reflect it back to you if that is the energy that you are embodying, right? Like, my community always tells me to go express myself. I love them so much. They're always saying, go, Z, go, Z, go, literally. And they're always like, Z, slow down, take a rest, like, make sure you sleep in, don't text, like, get off your phone, you should go for a swim, like, all these things. And it's so amazing, and they're taking care of themselves, and if they're not, then I'm like, hey, you need to rest, right? Like, your community will reflect it back to you because it'll be a reflection of love when you are in that frequency. My story is about me first, not everyone else. Yes, I love that. I love that. Put yourself first. That's what this moon is also about. And again, today is the day. Cut those cords. I signed up for paint classes every month for the first Thursday in town. Yes, Whitney, I'm so proud of you because I know how much you do not like to sometimes go to social events. And I love that. I'm so proud of you. Also, it's beautiful outside, so enjoy that weather. I saw your photos with your feet all up at the beach. Being in control and what the outcome will be. Yeah, I love that. Thank you for being specific. Amazing, right? It's better when we can be specific because we actually know what we are surrendering. If you are a little too vague, your energy can't release it, your mind can't release it. Like, and then what are you manifesting? If I said, Spirit, I want to manifest everything, Spirit's like, what the are you talking about? I'm like, I don't want that. I take it back. Let me be more specific. Right? Spot on, Z. I'm realizing I deserve to create, having done it, have a fire to just do more. Always reminding myself I did not get here by accident. Yeah, you did not. Everything happens for a reason. Just keep trusting and everything's going to work out for you. Literally, just keep going. And I always love to look back on my life and think about all the times when I thought something wasn't going to work out, even an hour ago. Right? I'm like, and then I'm like, no, I'm totally fine. Remember that one moment? Right? It's like, no, I'm exactly where I need to be. Let's Penny's up now. Benita, Money and I are best friends now. Heck yes, sleep with money. You know my rule. Sleep with money. I didn't even realize I was embodying Lakshmi energy. Yeah, I can feel it in you. That post, I was like, oh, there it is. Let it out. Let it out. My goddess energy was like, goddess to goddess, let it out. Let it out. Thank you for the confirmation. Of course, happy to. My biggest challenges was set clear boundaries. I thought that I had to people please to keep people in my life. Yeah, you really don't have to. My new story is my style of dress more flowy, divine from others. Let's talk about this. I deserve the same respect I give others, even when it's asking for clarity. Is this pertaining to the last statement I made? Or is this literally what you are manifesting? because it kind of feels a little not so hot, if that's the energy. I'm happy to clarify questions, but I can't clarify a question if you just write, it doesn't make sense. And again, like, perfectly okay to like move on from that. But do let me know in the chat for clarity, since we were talking about clarity. Let's go to the next question. Okay. Again, you can go back and look at these questions. This one is going to be more of a statement. As many of you know, a lot of the classes that we do for Z School for the Gifted always has some sort of statement or affirmation that can lead you to affirming a new energy for yourself. And usually as a community, we write them all together, we read them together. Sometimes we dance, sometimes we end it with breath work and meditation. And so this is a statement that you can write for yourself. So it is, I now call in the energies of water, peace, and prosperity to guide me to ... Fill in the blank. Fill in the blank for that statement. So what is it that you are calling in? What is it that you are calling in? Let me know. The energies of water are very peaceful. They're very flowy. They're very giving, right? When you think about a river and you think about even Oshun's energy, Oshun is an Orisha of the river. So as I mentioned in another live, and sometimes in Z School for the Gifted, you can always ask Oshun to help bring the flow of life to you while you are giving your offerings to them at the water. Oh, I love that. My creative tribe. That's amazing. I feel like your tribe is already here and it's going to keep showing up, especially because you literally showed up to that live with a bunch of creatives and then you're on here talking about what you did and now you're putting it out into the universe. Like, I feel like your tribe is here and I'm just really excited for you. And I'm so proud of you and your show. I now call in the energy of water, peace, and prosperity to guide me to the next chapter of my career, a new place I call home. I love that. Also, shout out to you, Whitney, because you know how I roll with writing the whole statement out. I love that. You are amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. What else? What are you folks calling in? Calling in peace. Peace has been a theme for the collective. And it's important right now that you do what is necessary to protect your peace. Yeah, when he's laughing. Yeah, I know. I noticed that. I was like, folks who have worked with me for a while usually will like write the whole statement because they're used to it. Because I'm like, from the top, do the whole thing. Because what is the point of just telling me the end? You know, like, what are you gonna do to the universe? Just give them a little bit to know. Say the whole thing. Say the whole thing, and it builds that muscle memory and energetic alignment within you. Right? I love that. I'm excited to see where your career goes next. I've been watching you since literally even around since I started Flourishase, which then turned into Bougie Savage Productions. And your career has changed like so many times. And I love it because you're expanding and your career is changing and it's so awesome. And even your connection with your ancestors. And I don't know if your new place I call home is an actual move, because if that's the case, I'm excited for you, sis. Benita, I now call in the energies of water, peace, and prosperity. Benita has also been in More Than Worthy. I now call in the energies of peace, of water, peace, and prosperity to guide me to create abundance of money, love, and comfort. I love that. To being on the spotlight. Yay! I love that. We've also been talking about redefining the spotlight and what that really means to you, right? Not just a stage, but spotlight of life. I now call in the energies of water, peace, and prosperity to guide me to living my life fearlessly in my full power. Yay! I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Fearlessness is an interesting energy because I feel like some people think that fearlessness is like you never experience fear, but I feel like fearlessness is where you can still acknowledge fear but do the things that you love anyways, right? Like you just keep going. You do it scared. You don't allow your fear to take over your life, and so that in and of itself is like the action of being fearless. Yes, I am like Barry from B movie. I've been getting so many B movie references lately. Probably you. Can't just have one job. No one's meant to just have one job. The other day I was talking to a bank. It was actually a credit union, and about like their setup and things like that, and helping small businesses, multifaceted small businesses. And they're like, we're just not really set up to like help businesses that do more than one thing. And I was like, I was like, the system is so broken. Guide me into leadership and to be seen. Yeah, be seen. Be afraid, but do it anyways. Yes. I'm calling in wisdom, discernment, and understanding of how to get in and maintain the flow of life. Yes, that's a big one. That's basically a bliss statement or an enlightenment statement. That's definitely what that is. And I love it. Maintain the flow of life. When you can maintain the flow of life, that's like you're in flow with the universe. I'll take a high state. I see you. I see you, Victoria. I see you, Victoria. So before we get going, I'm going to drop one more. You're welcome to say it to yourself or write it. It's completely up to you. And also, again, just inviting you all to come join Z School for the Gifted on Thursday. Again, we're going to be clearing out some energy, doing some breath work, doing the solar plexus and things like that. So please make sure that if you are wanting to come, you join before the cutoff time. I know there were quite a few folks last time who happened to remember day of and they couldn't make it into the thing. There is a cutoff so that I can actually begin to prepare the space and work with the flow of how many folks are there, because they've been getting a little bit longer with the extra breath work and teaching something in the class. So just make sure you sign up ahead of time. It's Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific. So let me go ahead and put this in. And you're welcome to say whatever ending you would like to. So I'm ready to move forward on my path of enlightenment and love. I just put Ashe, Om, Amen, and anything else you want to add. I love ending with something that affirms this new path for yourself, right? And in Hoodoo, we invoke things by the way we say them, right? My paths are now open. My life is now abundant. I am prosperous. Like it's a commanding energy, which makes it a reality. So when is the cutoff time? I think it's like maybe 4 hours before or something like that. I was trying to extend it, but I didn't want to extend it too far just so that I could still plan. Benita said, I am a Z School for the Gifted. It's addicting at this point, so I highly recommend it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The community, because a lot of them have been journeying together like since I started Z School for the Gifted. they're in such a heightened state of healing and their gifts and their abilities and their manifestations that it's incredible to see, and they can just be themselves, and fully love who they are. And they've met their soul tribe, as I mentioned. And I know you, Benita, connected with some folks outside of the call, and that's not the first time that has happened. So it's a really, really awesome place to come, and I will channel your energy. There are boundaries and things like that. The same way I talk on here is how I'm going to talk in Z's school for the gifted, because I am an activist and I do not let things slide. So do be mindful when you do come into this space. It is safe for you to come as you are, but there are limitations, right? And if you have any accessibility needs and things like that on the form, there is a space for you to put that on there. So I know ahead of time, which is also why it's nice to book your spot earlier. So then if I need to adjust anything for you to make sure your learning style is the way that you are needing it, I have time to be able to do that for you and support you on your journey, no matter who you are. And you do have the option to not put questions on the form and thing like that. But what I have seen in the past is when folks tend to not put questions on their form, they try and squeak in their questions during class. And so I have to kind of rush you through, because I prioritize the people who put in the effort to fill out the form. They get their questions asked first, and then you don't get as much help and as much channeling and things like that. So I always invite you to fill out the form as much as you can with whatever questions you're needing. Me and future wife will be the first billionaires in our family and be examples of what God can do through flow, which will inspire countless others to change the world. I love that, King Grizzly. That's a powerhouse statement. That is a powerhouse statement, and I love it so much. Before I get going, does anybody else have any quick questions before we go? I'm going to stay for another minute or two. If I see something, I will do my best to answer it. Otherwise, this is where I'm going to end the live. I am going to head out, and remember that you are going to be able to access these questions in the description. I'm going to add them right after this, and you can always go back and watch the video if you missed anything as well. Happy to help, Danielle. I'm always here to support you. It's like perfect timing. My computer literally just is about to go dark, so I probably won't be answering questions. But I am sending you lots of love, lots of hugs. Again, hopefully I will see you on Thursday in Z's School for the Gifted. Continue to balance your energy, continue to move forward with your life, and have fun. Yay, of course, always to help, always happy to help. I will see you all later live, but love you too. Oh, thank you. No worries. I know what you meant. Bye, everybody.